What's up, duders? Time for your daily dose of internet madness. Ah, yes. Nothing like starting the day with coffee, toast, and a mistake that detonates a marriage. Let's unravel this beautiful disaster together. My wife sent the proof of her affair to my number by mistake. I swear the morning it all started felt aggressively normal. The kind of morning that tricks you into believing the day won't slap you across the face with life-changing information. I was half-dressed, toothbrush in hand, staring at my reflection while wondering how long it had been since I'd replaced the bathroom light bulb that flickered like a dying firefly. Lila was downstairs humming her weekend energy hum, even though it was a Wednesday. Bacon sizzled. The house smelled warm and familiar. Safe. My phone buzzed on the counter beside the sink. Buzzed again. Then a third time, like it was insisting I pay attention. I leaned over, still brushing, expecting maybe a meme from my brother or a calendar reminder I'd snoozed too many times. Instead, the preview on the lock screen punched a hole through my reality. Here you go, proof I can leave him. At first, the words didn't register. The heart emoji felt particularly malicious, like the digital equivalent of someone patting your shoulder sympathetically while stabbing you in the ribs. Then I noticed the attachment. My brain tried desperately to rationalize. Wrong number? Scam? A very stupid marketing campaign? But the contact name at the top was unmistakably my wife's. I rinsed my mouth, dried my hands slowly, deliberately, as if rushing would make something break. The phone felt heavy, alien. When I pressed play, the world shrank to a 4-inch screen. There was Lila, wearing that champagne-colored silk robe I'd surprised her with last Christmas, standing in a hotel bathroom I recognized instantly. We'd stayed there once during a storm when our power went out. The cheap, beige countertop, the crack in the corner tile, the LED mirror that made everyone look better than they actually were. She looked nervous in the video, almost guilty. Her fingers fidgeted with the robe tie. "I'm ready," she said. "I'm ending things with him. I want to be with you fully." She turned the camera. And there he was, tattoo sleeve, lazy grin, leaning against the hotel doorframe like he owned the place. He kissed her cheek, leaving an invisible but permanent stain on my memory. "Send it to me when you're ready," he murmured. The recording ended. I didn't realize I'd been holding my breath until I gasped like someone had punched the wind out of me. For a few moments, I just stood there. The bathroom tiles blurred. The hum of the vent grew louder. My legs felt oddly detached from the rest of me. I'd always imagined that if I discovered infidelity, I'd explode, shout, throw something, at least swear. But instead, what I felt was absolute stillness, like my emotions were stunned silent. Downstairs, I could hear Lila flipping bacon. I walked down with the weight of the phone in my hand like it was radioactive. "Morning," she chirped. I stared at her. She looked exactly like the woman I married. Soft smile, sleep-warm eyes, hair pulled up in a messy bun. The kind of scene that used to make me feel settled, grounded. "Morning," I echoed, voice sounding like it was borrowed from someone else. All day at work, I replayed the video in my head. I tried focusing on spreadsheets, on emails, on anything logical and structured, but my brain kept circling like a moth trapped in a lampshade. How long? Why him? Why now? Why hadn't I noticed? But I had noticed things. Little shifts. The way she guarded her phone more. The extra time spent on her appearance before errands. The new perfume she claimed she got on sale but wore only on specific days. You notice. You just don't connect the dots until someone draws them for you. When I got home early, my stomach was in knots. Lila spun around in surprise, dropping a wooden spoon. "You're home early? We need to talk." Her eyes widened. "Okay, about what?" I handed her the phone with the message open. She didn't speak. She didn't blink. She went from warm peach color to stark porcelain in half a second. "I didn't mean for you to see that," she whispered. The stupidity of that sentence was almost laughable. "I didn't mean for you to see the evidence of my betrayal." "Great. How long?" I asked. Her lips trembled. 3 months. 3 months. 90 days of lies layered between us like thin sheets of glass gradually turning into a wall. "Why?" I asked again, voice tight. Her shoulders curled inward. I felt invisible. "You've been working late. We barely talk anymore. You go to bed before me. You wake up before me. I felt like your roommate. And he what?" My tone snapped more sharply than I'd intended. "He listened. He made me feel wanted again." The word stabbed something deep. Not just insecurity, something older and sadder. Something like failure. "I was going to end it," she said. "That's why I made the video." "You were making proof for him," I corrected softly. "You weren't trying to prove anything to me." She broke then, sobbing, head in her hands. I didn't comfort her. I couldn't. I wasn't ready. "I'm going upstairs," I murmured. I need space. She reached for me instinctively. I stepped back, and her hand fell like a broken branch. That night, I didn't sleep. I stared at the ceiling for hours, tracing familiar shadows cast by the streetlight outside. Shadows that suddenly felt like strangers. By dawn, I had packed a small bag. I left without waking her. My brother didn't ask many questions when I arrived, which I appreciated. Instead, he handed me coffee and let me sit at his kitchen table while the world inside my head spun like a loose wheel. The first week was brutal. I'd go through waves of numbness followed by tsunamis of grief, moments of anger, moments of longing, moments of disbelief. Therapy websites became my late-night reading. Lila's messages came in relentless waves: confession, apology, desperation, silence, then apology again. I didn't respond, couldn't. Each message felt like poking a bruise that still throbbed. Her big letter came 5 days in. Physical mail, my name in her handwriting. She poured everything into it: guilt, loneliness, regret. She took responsibility without making excuses. She explained how lost she'd felt, how afraid, how she'd started confiding in someone she shouldn't have, how it spiraled into something she hadn't expected. She told me she loved me, truly loved me, that she'd cut him off, that she wanted therapy, that she wasn't giving up. I held the letter for hours, read it until the words blurred. Part of me wanted to go home immediately. Another part wanted to disappear into a different life entirely. Both parts hurt in different ways. Eventually, I texted her. I need time. That's all I can say right now. She responded instantly. Take whatever you need. I'm here. I'm not seeing him. I'm not speaking to him. I swear to you. I believed she was trying. I didn't believe I could return. Weeks passed. I started walking in the evenings. Long, aimless walks under orange streetlights. I discovered podcasts. I learned how loud my thoughts were when I stopped drowning them in a routine. When I finally went home to talk, the house felt smaller. Or maybe I felt bigger, changed, a different shape than before. We sat on opposite ends of the couch. Her eyes were puffy. Mine were tired. She apologized again. I didn't ask more questions. I didn't want more answers. We agreed to a separation. It wasn't a dramatic breakup, just a mutual acknowledgement that something had cracked too deeply. I found a month-to-month rental near work. Lila kept the house. We split chores into yours and mine and cried quietly when discussing the dog we never ended up getting. Grief is strange. It doesn't always look like screaming. Sometimes it's two people folding laundry separately for the first time in years, trying not to look at each other because the sight is too sharp. But slowly, I began to breathe again. Update. 3 months have passed, and life feels like a new country. Unfamiliar, but navigable. Lila and I filed for divorce last week. It was civil, quiet, no shouting, no scenes, just signatures and a shared exhaustion. We've both been going to therapy. She's working through her guilt. I'm working through my patterns. I'm learning that conflict avoidance is its own kind of slow poison. That resentment isn't always loud. Sometimes it's a whisper that grows. This doesn't excuse what she did, but it paints the whole picture. 2 weeks ago, I took a solo road trip up the coast. Stayed in a tiny wooden cabin perched above the ocean. At night, I sat on the porch with a blanket and listened to the waves crash like they were erasing old chapters. I felt not happy, not healed, but okay. And okay is more beautiful than people give it credit for. I'm not looking for a new relationship right now. I'm rediscovering what I like in the quiet spaces. I'm learning how to cook for one, how to enjoy silence, how to sit with myself without flinching. Strangely, I'm grateful the mistaken message came when it did. If not, I might have stayed in a dying love story for years, watering a plant that had already rotted at the roots. Life feels open now. Scarred, but open. I'm stepping into whatever comes next, slow and steady, one clear breath at a time. Phew, that was a journey with more emotional potholes than a winter highway. If you take one thing from this story, let it be this: communication isn't optional, it's the seatbelt. If you don't buckle up, the crash will hurt. Also, seriously, don't film proof of anything forbidden unless you're 100% certain you won't hit the wrong contact. Technology is chaotic and has a dark sense of humor. As for OP, proud of him for rediscovering his footing. As for Lila, well, let's just hope her next relationship doesn't require cinematic evidence. Now it's your turn. Would you have tried to reconcile? Or is a mistaken heart emoji video pretty much the universe's way of saying run? Pull up a chair in the comments. Let's unpack. That's all, folks. Don't forget to update the video. Thanks for listening, and I'll catch you in the next one. Doot doot.